difficulties, the authorities never formally acknowledged him as a victim.
Remembering what happened to my father that day, it was so tough. Taking him to the hospital, there was no car, no help. He was in the hospital waiting room, then a few minutes later, he stopped breathing. Then a doctor came and told my mom he passed away.
The government says about 3,800 people in Wuhan died after contracting coronavirus, with 50,000 infected. Beijing says it successfully contained the outbreak, but its source remains unknown. World Health Organization officials say they've launched an investigation, but the UN agency isn't saying what progress is being made. While the virus crisis in Wuhan is over, at least for now, for Zhao Lei, the scars remain.
My life has completely changed. I don't think it can ever go back to normal.
Saiguo Tao is grateful his family survived the outbreak. He says he's now trying to shift his focus from counting his losses to making do with what's left. Katrina Yu, Al Jazeera, Wuhan.
All right, Shalom. Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give my praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakar. Double honor to the apostles and elders who wear millstone. Shalom to you, brothers, pushing truth and sincerity all over the earth. Another shalom to you, hopeful elect. And I want to touch on two things. One about China is starting to flood in areas where where people are farming for crops, and their daily food, corn and all this other stuff that you get from farms. And then I want to talk about, I'm going to read just a little bit of this, and then I want to touch on this right here about farmers being shut down in America. So I want to touch on two things, but we're going to touch on this real quick, and then we're going to get on this. So it says, Wuhan on alert. Again, flooding poses threat to 11 million people. 7 months since the first COVID-19 infection in the Chinese city, its residents are now facing a new threat. It has nearly been 7 months since the world's first coronavirus infection was reported in the Chinese city of Wuhan. Its 11 million people were forced into strict lockdown for 2 months. Many people died of COVID-19. Those who survived the pandemic have been struggling to recover from its effects, and flooding come as a new threat for them. And who's bringing this, man? Who's bringing this? The Lord of Hosts, man. I don't understand this whole. It's not just gonna be America, man. That's just going. Everything is just gonna happen in America, and all the world's gonna be cool. Why? America's under, or all hell is breaking loose. That's gonna be all over the world, man. It's not gonna be just in one place, and then you can get a flight, you can drive over here to somewhere, and then ain't nothing going on. And when the stuff starts to hit the fan, man, it's gonna be all over the earth, man. Because world war is going to break out. We know that because World War III is prophesied in the scriptures, and we're living in those times. No matter how it comes about, we know that it's coming. So we know who causes the destruction. And we know who's doing it, man. We know who's bringing the floods, who's destroying the crops, who's doing all this. Let's keep going. Al Jazeera, Katrina Yu reports from Wuhan, China. That's it on that. I thought the article was longer than that. No, it wasn't. But she's just reporting basically on the floods and the stuff that's starting to happen in China. And there's floods all over China currently that's happening. And in America, they're really not talking about it. But it's stuff that's going on in other parts of the world right now. And also, a lot of people don't know what's going on in America right now is this. The shutdowns for American farmers. It says coronavirus shutdown devastating for Americans. Farmers, says National Farmers Union VP. And basically what's going on, farms are getting shut down because so-called coronavirus is going to start getting in the food, and the food can't be shipped out. The food can't be shipped out if it's disease infected. So what's going to happen? They're going to start shutting down farms, and that's where we get our dairy from, the milk, the cheese, the vegetables, the corn, and all that other stuff, man. the wheat, to we get all this stuff from the farms. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen if farms and stuff are getting shut down? What's going to happen if milk and stuff is not going out? And a lot of people don't know that America gets food, and everything that you pretty much get from here is coming from China, man. So once stuff starts coming, once stuff stops coming in, once farms and stuff starts to get shut down, what do you think is gonna happen from there, man? Because we have to eat. So what do you think is gonna happen in those times, man? As more and more, because it's gonna be a second wave, which is starting to come already. Because once they start, what do you think is gonna happen once they start opening schools? Esau and his agendas, what is he gonna do, man? He gonna start saying the cases has spiked since people have started going back to school. And then they're gonna start shutting down everything again, and it's probably gonna be worse than what happened the first time. Because now you understand it. Now they're shutting down things, and that's gonna bring forth what? A famine, man. Once food trucks stop coming into your local grocery stores, your food markets, your whatever you want to get, supermarkets, your local little marts that you have in areas, or whatever the case may be. Once that stuff stops coming in, stop being imported, what do you think is gonna happen, man? Because if food's not coming in, the only thing that's going to happen is food that's going out, and nothing is replacing the food that's going. So what do you think is going to start happening when people start to get hungry, man? It's prophesied in the scriptures. People are going to be invading one another for the lack of bread, and we're going to get that, and the famine is going to come. It's not America. How Nate said it's gonna be lolly la dolly da da, and America's everybody's gonna be chilling, just going on with daily life. Then out of nowhere, here it is. You get ready to drive to the Super Bowl, and next you know missiles just start flying out the sky. You see missiles coming in the sky and start hitting places. No, man, it's not gonna happen like that. It's completely going off. You're going to go through tribulation, man. And what is part of the tribulation? Famine, man. But what did the scripture say? It says, my servant shall eat. So you shouldn't have to worry about that, man. And you know these tribulations that's coming, you don't have to worry about that. Why? Because you have to trust in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, the words that we read in the scriptures. You have to believe that we're going to be fed in those times, man. That we're going to be protected from the evils. That we're going to escape starvation. But everybody knows, and we all know, that your faith is going to be tested, man. You might not eat 4 days, haven't had water, no, not even nothing to nibble on, no nothing, man. But what we know we can't do is take that chip, because that chip is going to play a big part in people eating and doing all the other stuff, man. Because China already has the chip, and other places already have that chip, which we know that's the mark of the beast. But read a little bit of this. Read a little bit of this right here, and then go get it. Just 2 scriptures, and we're gonna close it out. It says the impact of coronavirus shutdown has been devastating for American farmers. National Farmers Union Vice President Patty Adelberg said Friday, appearing on the Americans newsroom with host Ed Henry, and Adelberg said that there is much more supply than demand. See? In the industry right now, after restaurants, hotels, and schools have shuttered. There should be more. Hold on. That is. These articles, I gotta find the full ones, because I don't know. I think that just might be it on it. Oh, here, yeah, okay. Never mind. It's right here. It says click for the full thing. Just click that. This is not doing anything. Well, I think that was it. Well, Slack-kick. I think that was it on the article. Here, I'm gonna go back to that, and we're gonna click on the video. Let's see what the video has to say. Then we're gonna get the scriptures. I thought the article was longer than that, but I guess it wasn't. So, just gonna click this and watch this and see what it says here, and then we gonna close it out. We're gonna read the scriptures and we're gonna close it out.
While you do your part to beat
Just add to
coronavirus,
play.
America's biopharmaceutical companies are busy doing ours, testing treatments and vaccines as we collaborate with the FDA, NIH, and CDC. Because science is how we get back to normal.
Well, as you know, shoppers continue to clear out shelves in grocery stores, supermarkets all around the country. But with schools, restaurants, and hotels shutting their doors, overall demand for fresh food is down right now. Market prices have been falling. That has farmers worried for their future. Let's talk to Patty Edelberg. She is vice president of the National Farmers Union. Joins us this morning. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning, Ed.
First of all, let's talk big picture about, people have had concerns about whether the virus can be spread through food packaging, if they get something off a shelf. What can you assure Americans about that part of the story first?
Well, that part is very not true. I mean, obviously, we have a very safe food supply in this country, and it's been very proven that cooking food, getting food out of packages is not going to spread the virus. So your food is healthy, your food is safe. People just need to know that going forward. Fantastic.
What are your concerns though about the food supply, and what may happen if agriculture employees start getting sick around America?
That's always a concern. I mean, obviously, we have a lot of milk plants, meat processing plants, where if individuals start getting sick in them plants and they need to start closing them plants down, that they're going to have to start shutting off supply. Unfortunately, right now, that's not necessarily the case. Right now, we're seeing a lot more where there's way too much supply, obviously, with the hotels, schools, and restaurants all closed down. There's so much more supply out there that there's prices are just falling and dropping rapidly for farmers right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, go ahead.
Pardon me, but on your point, I just wanted to get in there on the dairy farmers in particular. One of our Fox affiliates spoke yesterday with a Wisconsin dairy farmer who said it's almost like a false reality, that there's so much being bought right now. But on the other hand, we've never dumped milk before. This is not something you normally do. It's my understanding there's a major oversupply of milk. This is good, nutritious grade A milk that would be on your store shelf tomorrow night. So on one hand, your heart breaks for the farmer who's got to throw away the milk, and your heart breaks for people who are starving in America potentially. People who are unemployed, people who are trying to feed their families, and this milk is simply being destroyed.
Absolutely. And that's the sad part. I mean, 10% of our fluid milk in this country goes directly right to schools. So when we're losing that industry right there, that's a huge part. But you're right. There's a lot of milk that's just getting dumped, and there's nothing that we can do about it because it's a perishable product. We can't shut the cow off. We can't stop the production. So unfortunately, that seems to be where it needs to be going.
Bloomberg News put together a piece on some of the fears about agriculture employees and the potential spread for coronavirus, as we mentioned a moment ago. Here's what they said. There's no shortage of food in the U.S., and there very likely will not be. But the logistical miracle that is the U.S. food supply chain is already stressed by panic buying at grocers and a huge disruption of markets, including thousands of suddenly closed restaurants. The supply chain could be further undermined by outbreaks of coronavirus among agricultural workers. Respond to that.
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to have a supply problem in this country. I really don't. And I'm not sure that if you talk to anybody in agriculture that they're going to agree with that as well, that we won't have a supply problem. We're going to have it's going to be more on the farmer end. We've seen prices drop on farmers, on products, 25% for beef, down to 35% for dairy products and loans. So the farmers are the takers. The farmers are the price takers, not the price makers. We're going to lose if we start seeing supply chain breakups. I think it's going to be a lot more because we're losing farmers in this country than it is the product that they're actually producing.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the last 30 seconds we have, what about the impact from restaurants? I mean, this seems obvious that, all of a sudden you have all these restaurants not buying hamburger meat, not buying buns, not buying whatever product you want to name. What kind of impact does that have?
That's huge. That's a huge impact. I mean, that's like I said, we're down about 25% in the market right now when it comes to dairy, to beef, to any of that. So it's a huge impact on the farmer end of it. It's a huge impact economically for any restaurant owner out there, of course. But economically for the farmer, the markets have tanked really hard in the last 6 weeks.
Well, we focused on those restaurant folks and the hotel folks. We're talking about people all around the country. And we wanted to also mention the farmers and make sure we keep a focus on that because it's hurting a lot of people right now in the middle of the country. We don't want to forget them. Patty Edelberg, we certainly appreciate you with your insights, and we wish you well in the days ahead.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that was the end of the video. So if Esau keeps pushing this more and more, like I was saying at the beginning, what's going to happen, man? Food places are going to start to shut down. And as they were saying in the video, they were saying about the forgot what they called them. What if one of the workers like gets sick from I forgot the word that they used or the name of it. But if one of the people gets sick that's dealing with the food or the factory or whatever the case may be, one of those people gets sick, more than likely they're gonna have to shut down that whole place, man. And then therefore food is not meat, red meat is not being produced in there for it to go out. And we know a famine is going to come. We know it's going to come because it's in the scriptures, and I'm about to get that right now. But let me get this. Read this first. I'm gonna continue on the point. Matthew 24 and verse. We're gonna start at 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?" And Yahushua answered and said unto them, "Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So like it. "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." What does it say? It shall be famines. You're not going to be able to go to your Wendy's, your McDonald's, your Walmart, just to grab some cereal, granola bars, fruit snacks, whatever the case. You're not gonna be able to just go there. That American lifestyle is getting ready to come out the door, man. That fast food, you get food less than 5 minutes. You go through the drive-through, order, you get it through the window, and you drive off, man. You have a merry day. All that stuff is coming to an end, man. And what is going to happen to these people? You see people fight. People was fighting over tissue, and you don't even eat tissue. Tissue doesn't feed you. You don't eat tissue. People fight over technology, TVs, games, phones. People do that. So what do you think is going to happen when people have children? They have to eat, because that's something you have to do. You don't need no damn TV to live. You don't need no damn tissue to live. You need food, man. And for these people that have kids and wives and other and grandmas and all the other stuff, it's just family members in general, what do you think these people are going to start doing, man? What do you think they're going to start doing? See what the scripture said they're going to start doing. 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 19. "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." Your great neighbor Jim that you known for 15 years, ever since you moved in, they greeted you with pies and cakes when you first came in. What does it say? "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." In those days, man, when Jimbo from down the street next door that you love so much, when his daughter and his son don't have no eat, what is he gonna do? "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." He don't care what you got to say, man. "But shall destroy their houses with the sword," man. He gonna come in, kick down the door, hold you at gunpoint, give me all the food that you got. I need the water, I need all this stuff, and he's gonna go feed his kids, man. "And spoil their goods, take them, because the lack of bread," the lack of food, man, the lack of food, "and for great tribulation." So with all this coronavirus, we don't know. Hey, you know how Esau thinks, man. They said never let a good crisis go to waste, and this has been going on for 9 months already, man. And the second wave seems like it's already coming, man. Which we know it's a hoax, but Esau is using this and using his witchcraft media and his tactics to scare the people, man. And it works on these people that's in the world that has no clue what's going on. But we see right through what Esau is doing, man. We see exactly right through it. He's using this to push this. He's using this so he can accomplish something else, man. He can do this so we can start implementing chips little by little, and then say, hey, you gonna eat, you gonna need this to eat, and to do this and do that, and get vaccine, because that vaccine thing is coming, man. Trump was talking about that vaccine thing for months now, man. And it's coming right around the time when people can ready to start going back to school, man. I mean, you can just see what Esau is planning to do, man. Just by what he's pushing on the earth right now. But we all know it goes back to Heavenly Father, man. Because these people, they don't have no free will. They're doing exactly what the Heavenly Father is telling them to do. Everybody's in their lot, man. So a famine is coming, man. A famine is coming, and it will come. The only question is when it's gonna come. And we know it's coming soon. Because America's almost all out the door, man. This place is not gonna be here. we can see prophecies rolling, man. We can see it happening. So with that, we'll close out. Hope the lesson was edifying. A famine is coming, brothers. I give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Bahashem Rakar Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers pushing this truth and sincerity all over the earth. Another shalom to you hopeful elect out there. Catch you guys in the next lesson. Shalom.